'Twas the shite before Christmas, when movies release, and one such offender was this sickening beast. The script written poorly by those that don't care, though they may just lack talent, if I'm to be fair. It's a silly and cynical exploitative ride, with paper-thin characters devoid of all pride. And Santa's no better, a lumbering souse with a chip on his shoulder the size of a house. A new Christmas classic, but a bit of a bore, despite cursing and carnage and bad jokes galore. Away from the cinema I flew like a kite. To quote this dumb film, Christmas dies tonight. Whenever I see John Leguizamo's name in the credits for a film, I know I'm in for something special. His stunningly bad brand of somehow over and underacting simultaneously is the literal antithesis of cinematic expression and generally sounds the death knell for any film project that he's a part of. It also automatically lowers my expectations by a solid 10%. This painfully boorish entry is no exception. Written by the Rhodes Scholars behind the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, Violent Night begins its premise at preposterous, makes a beeline for ludicrous, and keeps on driving until internal logic is no longer even in sight of the rearview mirror, and nonsense begins to crown the horizon ahead. We meet Santa Claus, drunkenly lamenting his yearly job of delivering Christmas gifts to deserving kids throughout the world. He bemoans the lack of belief in the power of Christmas in modern times. As he leaves the bar via reindeer-powered sleigh, he vomits all over the witless bartender, thus establishing the tone of this movie. We're then introduced to a couple of human-sized doorknobs named Jason and Linda. They were once married but are now separated with a child named Trudy. Actually, there's a multi-layered and completely unnecessary subplot about her being named Gertrude, and her family calls her True. Anywho, Jason and Fam attend a family Christmas party at the mansion of his super-wealthy mother. Here we get to meet the offensively idiotic and downright nasty caricatures that are his sister Alva, her douchebag boy toy Morgan, and their YouTube-obsessed vlogging addict and absolute dipshit son, Bertrude. Yes, more insipid backstory on stupidly named children, and it's just as funny the second time around, I promise. The family clearly all hate each other and are determined to garner the attention of their power-mongering millionaire mother. Enter John Leguizamo, from out of nowhere with a band of mercenaries. Seriously, I feel like entire scenes were omitted from this movie, and not just minor shots or sequences, but entire establishing plot points, letting us know what the fuck is going on. Are we really spending more time on the names of the idiot kids than we are explaining why a band of mercs is raiding this holiday party? I will admit that we sort of get an answer to why this is happening much later on, through a mile-high pile of exposition, just the same as every other bit of information necessary for this celluloid swap meet to progress. So, Scrooge, yeah, that's Leguizamo's character's code name. No, I'm not joking. I'm also serious when I tell you that the code names of the rest of his elite military squad are Peppermint, Gingerbread, Candy Cane, Sugar Plum, Krampus, Frosty, and Tinsel. Again, I feel the need to assure you that I'm not joking. So this holiday-themed merc team infiltrates the mansion, and upon killing everyone in the place, takes the immediate family hostage. Their goal is to steal $300 million which Mother has locked in a basement vault. At the same time, Santa Claus happens to be teleporting down the chimney of this very house, set to deliver his gifts and wolf down a few cookies washed away with some pilfered whiskey. As soon as the shooting starts, he tries to escape, but his reindeer leave him high and dry to fend for himself. What follows is a beat-for-beat remake of Die Hard and Die Hard 2 with a Home Alone chaser. Sadly, both of those films are holiday classics. This is not. This is a witless, ultra-violent, mean-spirited, insufferable descent into the seventh circle of B-grade holiday schlock, with the only redeeming quality being able to see Santa Claus rip, tear, rend, beat, bludgeon, smash, pummel, and pulverize the human body into bits and pieces over and over and over again. The dialogue was surely written by the insane clown posse with hilariously unhilarious vulgarity punch-ups from whatever cigar blow-jobbing man-ape wrote the script for Boondock Saints. Nearly every word that is spoken by one of these mannequins is painfully crafted exposition, and in most, a Christmas movie reference is shoehorned in like an elephant in a portable toilet. We're gifted such memorable one-liners as, "Christmas dies tonight," and "Time for some seasoned beatings." But who can forget, "Bah, humbug, motherfucker"? The pacing doesn't have any grasp of narrative flow or even a semi-realistic timeline. I'd have to give the film half credit for making the prospect of Santa Claus visiting every child in the world in one night to deliver each of them a gift plausible by comparison to the rest of this pitifully moose-knuckled plot. What's less than zero? Because that's how much screen presence and chemistry this motley cast of bus station attendants has. I've seen better acting on a cereal box. The one true hero is David Harbour. He acquits himself nicely, giving a serviceably amiable, yet dour performance as the disheveled Saint Nick. If I were to have polled the other two hapless victims that graced the viewing I attended to whether or not they enjoyed the film, I guess that the drunken old geezer, not me, the other one, had a holly jolly good time as he laughed fairly consistently with bellowing guffaw at each geyser of CGI blood that erupted on screen. The other unfortunate soul showed no signs of being entertained or, in fact, even existing in this reality in any way. I guess a 66% ratio is still a win on Rotten Tomatoes, so our vegetative lurker holds the deciding vote. When all is said and done, there's some sort of a schmaltzy believe in Christmas message rattling around inside this blood and bone soaked holiday travesty, but to me that felt very hollow considering the carnage it took to get there. Would I recommend Violent Night? Not unless you plan on being drunk or high or both. Maybe it was my fault for seeing it sober. I won't make that mistake again.